So in this video I wanted to talk about how I try to keep myself motivated to pick the guitar up each day, or how I keep the mindset that each day I want to play guitar even. So if you want to know a bit more about me, since about the age of 14 I think I used to read sort of things saying, you know, all of my favourite players like Steve Vai or someone like that, John Petrucci, used to practice guitar every day and would play for sort of 7 hours, or these were the kind of myths or stories or whatever they are that go around, and I thought, okay, that's what I have to do to be good at this thing. And since then I set the goal of playing sort of like 2 hours every day at that stage, because obviously I was going through school and stuff, and over the course of time that's kind of changed. I think now my goals are a bit more realistic and a bit different. There have been periods of time where I practice sort of like 7 hours a day, or play guitar for 7 hours a day is probably a more realistic way to put it, instead of like focused practice or anything. But generally, unless I'm on holiday or something like that, which I don't go on holiday anymore anyway, and even if I have, then these days I would take a guitar with me. I managed to play guitar every single day and it never really gets boring for me. So I just wanted to share some ideas about how that could be, or if you're feeling unmotivated in some way, then maybe this will help you. It might not, but you know, just some ideas that I wanted to throw your way in case you were feeling unmotivated, or in case you were feeling like, today I don't really like my guitar playing. So I think quite a lot of where some negative feelings towards guitar playing can come, I would call the burden of expectation. So when I was a kid, I thought one day I might be like John Petrucci, and I might be this person that people look at and go, oh, I really like that guy's playing, or you know, I might be playing on a stage somewhere. As time goes on, I think you start to realise that that sort of thing is kind of really a tiny percentage of people, you know, like the 1% or whatever, that actually manage to succeed in this business in the traditional way that we think of. Now, underneath that 1% is a whole bunch of people that maybe make money from music in some way, or maybe get loads of enjoyment out of the instrument anyway, despite being, you know, not John Petrucci. You know, there's loads of people underneath that that may not even make anywhere near as much money, maybe better guitarists even, or you know, might be playing in fields of music that don't make you loads of money, like jazz. So kind of letting go of some of those expectations, I think, has helped me, because I know that at this point, you know, probably things aren't ever going to be at the level where I might have dreamed they might be when I was a kid, but I can still enjoy playing the thing every day, and that for me is where the enjoyment is now anyway. I can sit and play guitar, and for the time that I'm doing that, I don't particularly think about anything else. It's a really good way to unwind. It's a good thing to come home from the end of a work day if you have a job and stuff like that, and just sit. If you can find time to do it, I think there are ways that you can get loads of enjoyment out of every day. Now, the play versus practice thing is also a thing that I've, you know, seen people that are super regimented in what they practice, and you know, these people that might, you know, I practice all of my augmented arpeggios every day. I have a work schedule where I go through, okay, I'm going to do 20 minutes of alternate picking, and then 20 minutes of legato, and then 20 minutes of sleep picking I call it. Anyway, that's never been me. The point for me is that I want to spend time actually on the instrument, and whether I'm practicing something specific or whether I'm just playing the guitar, for me that is doing the job. Each day that you pick up a guitar and you're moving your fingers around it, you're exploring the instrument, you might be finding new things. For me, that's a more realistic goal than saying, okay, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna really focus practice on this stuff every day, because life is not necessarily like that. And you may find that, okay, I've had a bad day anyway, and I don't want to focus now on alternate picking with the metronome. I just want to play along to my favourite records or whatever. So that's been a thing actually that's gone through my entire life as well, just spending time actually just playing to records that you like, whether it's pop tunes, R&B, whatever it is, the tunes that you actually play in like a function band or whatever, but really starting to enjoy that music and just try and find your place in it, whether that's improvising with it or whether it's playing the vocal melodies, that side of stuff. if you're finding, I've been working on this lick that John told me that I needed to learn on Monday and it's not really going how I want it, feel free to, for sure, just stop doing that and just play something simple, play something that's enjoyable, and play something that makes you feel like you can play the guitar, if that makes sense. Like having a feeling that you've got something out of that session, even if it's just playing something you already knew but played it well. I think that's more valuable than failing at something repeatedly to the point where it gives you like a feeling next time you come to the guitar. So talking of playing vocal melodies, I think that's a really good way to start to improve your improvisation as well. You can take pretty much any song that you hear on the radio and you can listen to what Whitney Houston is singing, you can try and play it back. You know, that sort of thing. Or, you know, people talk about playing along with TV adverts, if that's still a thing. I don't know, but you know what I mean. So pick a small chunk of information. You know, one day it might be a Charlie Parker lick, the next day it might just be a melody line from Oasis. It's all valuable stuff, and learning how to place it on your instrument I think helps. And if you do this daily or regularly, you get better at this, and being able to pull out a melody, it's kind of what the guitar thing is all about, I feel. Things to not do too much of. I feel like looking at Instagram too much and looking what some people are doing all the time can be slightly negative and make you feel like certain things are unattainable. There are some people that seem to be on this super high level, but also don't forget that an Instagram feed or a YouTube upload thing is kind of curated, and those people may have taken ages to meticulously learn that piece of music, or meticulously do take after take to get the perfect thing. You're not necessarily seeing a true reflection of what their day-to-day guitar playing looks like, and I think that's really important to bear in mind. I think watching live videos of some players can really help to put things back into perspective. You know, if you watch some Eric Johnson live, you watch some John Petrucci live, you watch some of your favourite players live, they are very different to the studio takes that you might have heard. It's a different player, it's a bit more of a, I think, attainable goal in some ways. Don't watch Julian Large, don't watch Jonathan Kreisberg, because you'll see that there are some guitarists that can just never make a mistake. I actually do watch them because they're super inspiring, but you get what I mean. There are some players out there that are truly incredible all of the time, and that's a bit scary. So I think just trying to find some time daily, whether that means you get a decent headphone rig, also buy loads of guitar courses and buy loads of gear. That stuff really helps. Probably not, but there is a certain element of truth to a new guitar can inspire you in some ways sometimes, but I think that honeymoon kind of generally starts to wear off depending on the type of gear. Some, like modelling gear for me, has always been super inspiring because there's so much to get out of it. There's new stuff. One guitar necessarily is potentially going to be less inspiring unless it's a really great one, but to me, buying courses, buying gear is not necessarily the answer, but trying to spend good quality time where you just enjoy the instrument each day, I think is really useful. There are sometimes that exercises and stuff that you can put on with a metronome that do not particularly tax your brain as well, and so find a time of day that suits that kind of practice as well, and you can, you know, listen to other podcasts or bits and pieces whilst you're doing that with certain types of exercise. So if I was trying to get a legato line under my fingers, sometimes I might listen to a fight podcast or something like that, or the Guitar Hour podcast or something to kind of distract whilst I'm doing something menial. I think it's also important to know what state of mind you're in, so that you know, right, it's worth practicing something right now, or actually I'm not really that focused at all now, I'm just going to try and enjoy playing the guitar. Those are some kind of ideas. As someone who plays guitar every day and tries to find something new and start from scratch every day with the guitar, that's some of my advice. Let me know in the comments if you've got your own techniques for this stuff, if you've managed to find ways to motivate yourself. Let me know if you're a super kind of strategic learner. People have asked me, do I have like a roadmap for getting good at guitar? No, I think you'll find that life is the thing, and guitar is just one thing that kind of goes with it, like it is with anything as well. You know, if you asked a chef for a roadmap for how to become a good chef, I think, you know, there's different routes and everyone's journey is very different. Things that I did won't really necessarily work for you. I can try and help with the lessons and licks that are breaking down how I'm thinking about bits and pieces, but your journey is kind of your own. So yeah, catch you in another video soon. Feel free to like and subscribe if this was a tool, not a total waste of your time.